Your future self. Do you know who that is? G'day guys, Matt Tait here from Fork in the Road, your channel for transformation. Once again delving into self-concept and generalizations about ourselves. One of the generalizations we need to have when you read lots of the self-help books and a lot of the successful people, they have a vision for the future that excites them, that lifts them up, that fires them up. And part of that vision is identifying the qualities inside yourself that this amazing version of you in the future has. How can self-concept help you move forward? I'd love to hear your comment. And then, I don't know, it could be in sport. Maybe this amazing version of you has a higher standard. Maybe it's in business and you've built up the skills and the self-belief where you're at this higher level.Maybe you're academically aiming for a higher standard. Maybe you're looking to be, I don't know, someone who's running a public speaker and you want to lift your game there, or you want to lift your game in your parenting. And there's something in your current world that you're not happy with, right? And there's somewhere you want to be. Maybe it's just a vision for the future you're excited about. And you can have this vision for the future, but we need to build qualities inside of ourselves. We want to go on the journey of having experiences. We want to go on the journey of doing some things, learning some things, applying them, internalizing those lessons, making them part of us. But to start that journey, we have to face failure. And we all, including myself, I want to avoid it like the plague. But I know that my growth lies in my failure. So I need to go and fail a little bit, learn a little bit, improve. I can use the good part of my ego, and that is the part that doesn't like to fail, but I can use it in a good way to go and learn the things I need. I've done this in YouTube in 170 or 180 odd videos I've done, where I have continuously improved, but I've really just enjoyed the process, right? So if you can enjoy the process, and I've failed along the way, that's okay, because I'm having fun doing it. And I'll learn from that, and if I really don't like it, I can take it off YouTube. That's one of the good things, right? And so I've got a get out of jail card, which is great. Unlike, say, a live public speech. You can't edit the live public speech. It's a bit different. But all of these things are built up over time. And so when you think about your ideal self, your vision for the future, you're going to have a goal, whatever it might be, and you're going to have this ideal self. So what are the qualities inside yourself? What are the qualities you have now? What are the qualities that are missing? And then what are the qualities you need to have? Now, some of this is very logical. The generalization might be that, I need to do more public talks. So then I go off and learn the gaps because it'll be obvious. Whatever it is for you, let's make a list of qualities of the thing you need for your goal. All right, so for myself, let's say I want to be better at marketing, right? Definitely want to be better at marketing. So I want to be better at attracting clients into my world. So how do I go about that? Well, I want to be better at serving them better, right? So I know in here that if I serve my customers really well, that I get referrals and then that already happens, which is fantastic. But the next stage is going to be about more clients, training NLP, which is coming up for me, one-on-one programs, which is coming up for me, online programs, group work, right? All this stuff's coming out. And so what is it, the quality inside myself that I would want to move forward? And I think the key word for me would be focus, right? Focusing on someone's problem and really nailing the solution for that one problem and just making it really clear what you're doing. And I think that's messaging, obviously, is the main thing in marketing. So the quality inside myself would be focusing on the message, focusing on the solution, knowing in my heart of hearts I have solved the solution. And what does that journey look like? Building a journey that I know works. So the quality of focus. Now what I can do is I can use self-concept to build focus and build giving value, which is really a huge value of mine, giving value, which is why I'm having success with coaching, because I'm helping my clients And I love watching their transformation. It just fires me up like you wouldn't believe. So how can I give value more? And one of the things I've come up with recently is I'm doing an online program of very short videos, like 10-minute videos, where the client, after a one-on-one session, can look at my video and can reinforce the thing we've worked on, right? It could be values, it could be beliefs, it could be self-concept, it could be the swish pattern, it could be strategies. There's a bunch of different things, right? And we can go into those videos. I can say, right, you've done a session with me, go off to the video, right? So what does this mean? I'm focusing one by one. This serves me, and I'm focusing on giving value one by one. So inside the self-concept model now, let's say my future self is a higher level of focus at any given moment. But I also know where I'm at in the big picture, right? So you need both of those. You want to be focused, and then, oh, I'm in the big picture. This is important over here. Focus on that, come out, big picture, and not distracted by a million little things, which is what used to happen. So we think playing at a bigger game, there's levels of focus. And so inside that, where do I store focus? And what is a quality I already know exists inside of me? Okay, so the quality I already know exists inside of me is I know that I'm a curious person. I'm studying all the time. I'm loving these NLP techniques all the time, learning new ones. I might know 100 of them, but there's another 300 to go, whatever it is, right? There's so many models in there to learn. And so many of them I've applied with my clients. And so as you're going through that, I'm thinking, what could I do? All right, yeah, I'm curious. Okay, where do I store that? I'm going to close my eyes. I think, okay, where are they in my peripheral vision? They're all in front of me. They're all showing up at the same time. There's 200 plus examples. It goes off over the horizon because I've been a very curious person with all my studies. So I'm closing my eyes. I'm seeing them as images. Now you might have feelings. Put those feelings into a visual field. You might have sounds. Put those sounds into a visual field of images. And you've got this field of images. Now maybe yours show up one by one. But this is my model, right? So I'm eliciting my model of how I've stored being a curious person. And I really highly value this, right? It needs to be highly valued, okay? So I'm highly valuing this model of these images. They're all there in a field. They're in rows. They're kind of in a nice pattern. They've all got little green tinges to them. My brain's making it up. That's what it's saying, right? And so I've got these in front of me. And I can see them. They're all there. And I have counterexamples that I'm just checking in, counterexamples of where I've not been curious. They're kind of integrated in, and it feels very strong. So there's only about 5% of the database are counterexamples. And they're more lessons of when I wasn't curious and the price you pay for no curiosity, right? The price you pay. So it feels like it strengthens my quality of being curious. So I've got this model, right? Here it is. And there's about 20 other things we can do to elicit the model, but there's a starting point. Now, let's talk about focus, right? Here's the other side of the equation. If I'm feeling focused, let's have a think about that. In my visual field, focused is kind of up and to the right, okay? And I got focused as, it's probably less concentrated, probably 50, maybe 100 examples of being focused, okay. Now, I know that's not true. I know there's more that I've ignored. And so I'm going to bring all those examples, I'm going to put them in the same pattern of the other model, the curious model. It's the same pattern. I'm going to bring them all down and organize them in the rows in front of me, going back. I've got about 100 of them. Whereas the other one had more, but that's okay. So I know I can be focused. They're now organized in the same way. There's more I'll do to suit this up later. But that's a starting point. So I've moved them down, okay, they're there. Now, where are the counterexamples of being focused, where I'm defocused? There we go. So they're all over here separate. And there's about the same number, there's about 100. It's about a 50-50 split. So let's go over to unfocused, and let's now recategorize those. Okay, unfocused. Do they belong somewhere else? Some of them I don't have anything important going on, right? And so some of them are being relaxed. So I can put the one where I just want to be relaxed somewhere else, right? They don't belong in the focused area, and they're counterexample because I'm allowed to be relaxed sometimes. Okay, cool. So now I'm probably down to about 50. 100 examples of being focused, 50 of not being focused. All right, I need to get that number down to 10% or less. So down to 10. All right, let's think. Of those 50 that are left, of those 50 of not being focused, how many of them can be put into a different time span when maybe I was younger? Okay, time span, that's a good one. So some of those where I was just young and didn't know any better, right? That's different. So I can put another 25 off. Okay, I've got 25 left. So now they've got 25 examples of not being focused and 100 examples of being focused. And you know what? I probably only need to get rid of about 5 more because I know there's good examples of being focused I'm missing. So let's go one more time. And we've looked across time and space when I wasn't focused. We've looked across different situations where I'm relaxing. And of those 25, do any of them not belong here anymore in my generalization about myself being focused? And I'm going to say probably about 12 of them could go off. Maybe 6 of them are. I'm going to put 6 of them and they can go off and they can go into the category had nothing important. There might be something else. Focused. Direction. Where I wanted to go in 2 directions. Maybe it was more confusion about direction. So it wasn't so much focus, it was about trying to unpack what was important. And so that's a different category I'm going to say. So I've got 19, 20 left out of 100. Now, that might be okay if I can expand the 100, so I've got 10% counterexamples before I bring them in. All right, now let's have a look. Let me think about this. How many examples have I got of being focused, right? Which is what you need to build a business and to go to the next level. You need a level of focus. And I've got actually a whole lot more examples. I probably actually have, I think about my working life where I've been super focused, where there's been a deadline. I can bring those in. I've got other times where I've been super focused where I didn't want to let someone down. I can bring those in. Other times when I've been super focused in other contexts in time. The Kokoda Trail. I did the Kokoda Trail and that was 8 days of walking across the wilderness in Papua New Guinea, just north of Australia. And I was focused, absolutely, trying not to twist my ankle for 8 days. That was focused. So, there's an example of focus. And so, there you go. So, I've now got, I'm going to say 250 examples, all in that grid, the same that I had for the other example, which, the other example of the being curious, right? Which is a high value. And I really value it when I'm focused too. So, I like both of them. And now the counterexamples that are over here in my visual field, I'm going to bring them across one by one. I'm going to shrink them down, make them flat, and I'm going to bring them into the database one by one. I'm going to bring them in, and they're coming in, and I'm just spreading them in a sort of a pattern. And I'm surrounding them with good examples. Good examples, good examples. I'm just doing this in my mind's eye. Good examples into the database in the same visual field as I had with being curious. And I bring them all in, and they're in. I could feel a shift in my body just then. What the hell? And so you can see how I started to shift. All right, I am actually quite a focused person as a generalization in myself. Now, of course, I've still got to go out and do the work. I've still got to go out and show I'm focused. I've still got to go and focus on something to build up myself. So I'm producing the content. So I'm doing the things to help my clients more, to use the NLP techniques on myself as I do to shift my state and get me into action, right? So the idea is to motivate, to get us moving forward, to use our neurology in positive ways. So I've now got these examples all in this system of being focused, while still being aware of the big picture, because we need to know we're focusing on the right thing. But once we've got clarity on that, we focus. And that is what I have inside myself now as a generalization. Now there's more I can do to strengthen that. If I find I'm not focused, then I've got more strengthening in my generalization to do. And part of that focus, it might be daily journaling. It might be looking at myself, looking at my situation, looking at what's important around me, clearing out some actual existing things that are in the way. Like clearing out other obligations. Where have you got obligations? Well, you need to be focused. And you want to get them out of the way so you open up time to then fill with the focus. If you are overloaded, step back and take a look at your life. If you're overloaded, step back and open up to what's going on. Figure out what's important to you. And then you can start to open up the focus. It's hard to focus when you're in overwhelm. Step back and look at the big picture. Come up with some strategies of how you handle it. Make some space, move some things to the side, get some help in, I don't know, whatever it is, finding a way to open up time and space for that focus. So there you go. I've just shifted my perspective on focus. Those ideas were just popping in as I was talking. You will do the same as you open up your self-concept model. Taking the examples, joining the parts of you together, and moving yourself forward. This is Matt Tait from Fork in the Road YouTube channel, Fork in the Road Coaching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video of my self-concept series. See you on the next video. As always, like and subscribe to the channel, click on the little bell, click on the little like symbol, and make a comment below. How has this helped you today? How can self-concept help you move forward? I'd love to hear your comments. Please comment below and I'll see you in the next video.